All right, everybody, welcome back to Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Mike.
We're going to discuss some more movies today, Mike. As usual, we're going to make some ratings and everything. So we have a returning super fan. So this movie this week is Predator, and you'll remember from Top Gun Maverick, we had Dago with us. So Dago's returning. So Dago, do us a favor, reintroduce yourself and tell us how you became a super fan of Predator, man.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dago. I appreciate y'all having me back. Super excited to be here again and talk about Predator. Where do I begin? Trying to keep it short and simple. I became a super fan of Predator because, like I mentioned in my Top Gun episode, I was a 90s kid. So I
Mhm.
watched this movie on TV, on VHS, on DVD, on Blu-ray, on 4K. I mean, it was one of the many VHS tapes growing up that I ruined because I kept rewinding it. Like it
Okay.
was just a part of my childhood. It was such a good movie. I probably shouldn't have been watching it,
Like
but
like
I was.
how old would you say you were when you first checked it out, man?
Honestly, I would say my dad probably showed it to me. I had to have been probably like 8 years old, maybe
Okay.
even seven.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Cool. So we're
Shaped young doggo. I
yeah,
like
that's
Yeah.
it.
right. That's right. I remember my wife gave me a bunch of crap when my sons were very young, and a guy at work where I work said, "Hey, had you seen 300?" And I said,
Mhm.
"No, I haven't seen it." And he's like, "Are you crazy?" So he brought me the DVD, and then I watched it, and then I watched it with my sons, and my wife saw some of those scenes. She's like, "What are you doing to these kids?" Right? So anyway, all right, very good, very good. So we're gonna get started here. Is everyone's cell phone silenced?
It is.
It is.
All right. So in this episode, we're looking at the 1987 science fiction action horror film. Like we said, it's written by a couple of brothers, the Thomas brothers, directed by John McTiernan, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. It is Predator. So this thing grossed 98 million at the box office, Mike, against a
Mm.
budget of 15 million. Um, doesn't seem like that much in the budget there. I guess was it the effects? You
No.
think the money back then, spending money on the effects because there's not much to. They're just out in the jungle,
No,
right?
they're like little digital weapons effects.
Yeah, yeah. So this film it had mixed reviews across the board. Roger Ebert said it's effective action movie, while Gene Siskel was like at the end of the day, he's like thumbs down. I don't like this movie, right? So it was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. And in 2007, Entertainment Weekly named it in the 22 greatest action movies of all time. And in 2009, Entertainment Weekly, get this, Mike and Dago, the best Rock'em Sock'em movies, number
Mhm.
14 in the best Rock'em Sock'em movies of the past
Mm.
25 years. And it said Arnold
Oh yeah.
Schwarzenegger. They said Schwarzenegger's never been as manly as he was in this alien hunting testosterone fest. So,
I
um,
think that says something more about the reviewer than it does
I
Arnold.
was to say.
yeah. That's right. So this franchise, man, resulted in a total of 8 films, including I think there were 2 crossovers with Alien, plus novels, comic books, video games, toys. Gets a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes there. So Dago's the guest. He's the super fan, but we're not going to make him do extra work, Mike. So I'm going to let you explain the plot for those who haven't seen it, or those who have seen it, but it's been a while. Go ahead and tell us what this movie's about, Mike.
Sure. So Predator opens with a quick clue. We get a little insight into what kind of movie it's going to be because we see an alien spacecraft quietly dropping something on Earth's atmosphere before it disappears. And then shortly after, we're back on Earth where we meet Major Alan Dutch Schaefer, played by the man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's the leader of an elite special ops team. And his crew includes Stone Cold Mac, played by Bill Duke, explosives expert Poncho, played by Richard Chavis, and the mini gun-toting Blaine. For those of you that were into wrestling or wrestling, back in the 80s or 90s. That's Jesse the Body Ventura. The team's tracker, Billy, played by Sonny Landham, and this awful joke-telling Hawkins. I'm sure Steve's going to have more to say about Hawkins, but he's played by Shane Black. And they're all recruited by Dutch's old Vietnam friend, Dylan, played by Carl Apollo Creed Weathers.
There we go.
He's now with the CIA for what sounds like, at least initially, a straightforward rescue mission in the jungles of Central America. But almost immediately, things aren't adding up. The team finds a wrecked helicopter they're looking for, along with several bloody-skinned Green Berets hanging from the trees. And Dutch realizes someone isn't telling him the whole story. So they eventually locate a guerrilla camp. They launch an all-out assault where they wipe out the whole thing quick, fast, and in a hurry. And that's when Dylan finally admits the rescue mission was just a cover, because the real objective was to eliminate the camp because it was tied to Soviet-backed operations, and the missing Green Berets had vanished while investigating it. The team also captures a guerrilla fighter named Anna, played by Elpidia Carrillo, before heading towards their extraction point. But something else has been hunting them the whole time, and hidden by advanced cloaking technology, an alien predator watches the team from high above in the jungle trees, using thermal vision to track the team. And Billy senses that something unnatural is out there, but nobody really knows what they're dealing with. And one by one, the team starts disappearing. I want to say Hawkins is the first to fall, followed by Blaine, and it triggers an unforgettable barrage as the team unloads. There's just, I don't know how long it takes, but they just unload thousands of rounds into the jungle and kill nothing but plants and probably a few hundreds or thousands of defenseless animals. So as the body count rises, Dutch realizes they're not fighting soldiers, they're being hunted. And Anna tells them local legends about a demon that appears during the hottest seasons, taking human trophies. And the creature or predator, for which the movie is named, goes on to take out Mac, Dylan, Billy, and Poncho. So Dutch figures out one crucial detail. The creature only targets armed threats. So at that point, he tells Anna to drop her weapon and run while he stays behind to face it alone. So we see him survive a plunge into the river. Kind of reminds you of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He accidentally discovers that mud hides his body heat from predators' thermal vision. So he's armed with that knowledge. He turns the jungle into a battlefield, and it's filled with homemade traps, primitive weapons. Predator eventually abandons most of the high-tech gear, removes his terrifying mask right toward the end of the movie, and wants to face off Dutch hand to hand. Now, Dutch can't overpower Predator. This is one of the only movies I recall where Arnold seems like the weaker opponent, but he can outthink Predator. Yeah. And he lures the Predator beneath a massive counterweight trap, crushing it. Mortally wounded, the alien activates a self-destruct device. I thought he was going to activate an interpreter and talk to Arnold. That didn't happen. So he forces Dutch into one final desperate escape before the jungle erupts in a massive explosion. So at sunrise, an extraction helicopter arrives to find Dutch, bloodied, exhausted, and really the only member of his team left alive. Now, although Anna does make it out with Dutch. And the last thing we see before all the credits roll is each of the characters kind of looking at the audience, breaking that fourth wall one by one, reminding of who's who. And I want to say they did that totally separate from everything else they did in the movie.
Okay. All right. So anything to add to that, Dago?
No, not much. What I do want to say is maybe correct you on something very small, Mike, sure. Which was that Dutch didn't tell Anna to run. He told her to get to the chopper.
How could I have missed that?
That's right.
Get to the. Everybody loves their breath. Get to the chopper. And then every time when they said hopper during the movie too, all I could hear was get to the hopper.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to say this as far as that ending scene, the extraction helicopter. No way a general's going to be on that thing, right? I just have to point this out. Having a little bit of experience in the military, people, the general's going to be back in the rear with the gear. So, All right. All right. Very good, Michael, as usual. So, Dago, you told us your first take. You loved it. You were young. Um, so, Mike, I'm assuming you'd seen this movie before.
I had seen it. Honestly, it was back in the 80s. I watched it at least once, maybe a couple of times, but the last time I saw it, it was absolutely on a VHS tape.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what did you think about it, man? Like, do you remember what you thought about when you first saw it?
I remember I liked it, just like I like all Arnold movies at some level or another. But honestly, I only remembered the general gist of the plot. Watching it yesterday, it was really like watching it for the first time, with the exception of, and like Dago knows, the character of Predator has gotten so big and been in so many sequels and TV
Yeah.
shows. I did remember Predator and what Predator looked like.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it doesn't, it wasn't in a movie theater when I saw it. It had to be a VHS. I remember liking it because of the cool cast, obviously Arnold and Jesse, and it's an action
Yeah.
thing and there's an alien in it. So I remember liking it. It wasn't like my favorite movie in the world or anything, but I remember saying, hey, this is a good movie. So I
It
want
was no kindergarten cop.
no, not at all. Which is terrible, by the way, terrible. I don't
Oh
know.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, well, I don't know what he was trying to do with that. So, um, and that
Wait,
was Kindergarten Cop. No, that's no. The worst one was the one with twins, right? Twins.
I
yeah,
never saw Twins.
Oh, don't
you're
bother.
not missing anything.
Don't
Oh, does
bother at
it
all.
does it suck?
No,
It's terrible. It's terrible. So
it's yeah,
yeah, that's with Danny DeVito, right? So
yeah.
Jesus,
Okay.
I
Jesus.
was gonna add one more thing on my first take
Yeah.
Sure.
was that because I was a little kid and Dad, if I got this wrong, correct me later. But I remember my dad showed it to me because he said he had showed a bunch of his guys in the paramilitary course that he was training because he did some paramilitary work
Mhm.
because it dealt with commandos and that was like a similar environment that they were working in. And
Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest thing. So whenever I was a kid watching it, I had his leftover gear and I'd be
Yeah.
running around the house in my tidy whities with like a military issued or government issued holster, some
Uh,
gun belt, right? Because he's not using it. And
yeah.
I remember, oh, who was it? Duke, who would drink the flask.
Yeah.
I would run
Mhm.
around the house with mini scope from the dentist and hide in a corner and I'd take a
Uh,
shot of scope and I legitimately would swallow it
oh
and
yes.
I probably went through I don't know a dozen of those scope bottles. So mom and dad, that's where they went. I drank them. Um,
You've got like
yeah,
eternal fresh breath now.
I I had something, but like
Yeah.
that movie had like a really big impact of like kids playing cops and robbers. I was
Mhm.
playing Predator,
All
like
right.
that's what I was doing. So
All right. Very
That's
good.
awesome.
Very good. Very good. I don't know if I like the visual on that, thinking about the tidy whities,
He was
but
almost going commando.
all right. So yeah. So we're going to talk about the main characters here. We'll start with Dutch, who is referred to only a few times in the movie as a major. They're not really focused on the ranks here, but that's played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mike, how do you think he was for this role? Is there anyone else who could have done it?
Uh, I think this was tailor made, but I have to say that it starts off like a typical Schwarzenegger movie. Like when you watch the first few minutes of it, it reminds me of a lot of different Schwarzenegger movies in that I love it. It's got a couple of one-liners. The thing I probably like most about it is Schwarzenegger goes away from his comfort zone because by the end of the movie, he's not the baddest dude around.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing that he can bring to the party that Predator can't top him with. He's Predator's bigger. He's got better weapons, and he's still in one piece by the end of the movie, where Schwarzenegger has been stripped down to the bare essentials.
yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Dago, how'd you like Arnold here?
I mean he was peak Arnold.
Yeah.
They like Mike said, it was made for him. I cannot imagine anyone else
Mhm.
playing that role. I mean, with AI nowadays, people have reimagined movies that they were made in a different time or with a different actor. And I think someone put Stallone as that
Mhm.
character, and it was just basically Rambo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He was a different type of Arnold, like you guys mentioned at the end. He knew he was defeated physically,
Mhm.
but he outsmarted him, which
yeah.
was, a different version that I feel like us moviegoers weren't used to at the time. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, very good, very good. Yeah, I loved it. This is perfect part for him. I would wonder if it was made or even written with him in mind, possibly. I mean, I don't know. He
Mhm.
did a great job. I'm telling you, he had to be lifting weights hard right before the scenes were shot because he was pumped,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
And a lot of great one-liners that we'll talk about later. But yeah, I mean, when I think of Arnold, I think of the first thing I think of is Conan the Barbarian. Don't ever
Mhm.
go to the second one. It's the worst movie ever. Even though what it has Wilt
Mhm.
Chamberlain and what was that lady's name?
Uh,
Grace
Grace
Slick.
Jones.
Grace Jones. Grace
Yep,
Slick was from Jefferson Airplane, right?
that
Okay.
is correct. That would have been a whole different movie.
Yeah, it would have been better. It would have been
Yeah.
better. Conan, he was governor of California. If y'all have not, I would check out his there's I don't know whether it's a series or just one documentary, but maybe
Mhm.
it's a couple parts, whether it's on streaming or whatever. It's really good. And they
Yeah.
talk to him now.
Hmm.
And he sort of talks about how, his mindset getting to where he got. So yeah, he
Yeah.
did great. He did great. So we're gonna switch over to Dylan, who is the guy who used to be work in the military with Dutch, and he's now in the CIA, played by
Mhm.
Carl Weathers. How did you like Dylan in this, Dago?
Oh, I love them. I thought Carl Weathers did a great job for that role. I mean, he's Creed. He
Yeah.
was in the
Mhm.
Rocky franchise. I mean, and even his character still lives on in the Creed franchise, with Michael B. Jordan. And I think he did a great job balancing Arnold. The character, there was that, buddy camaraderie there, but you knew there was more to the story. And we don't really explore it too much um, outright, but with visuals, with looks and kind of letting the audience put those pieces together, I appreciated, especially because of that time and in the scenario. I think it would have been very unbelievable in the middle of the jungle at that time in the late 80s being hunted that someone's going to unpackage their relationship or friendship. It's, they need to get it done. They need to survive. So I think he did a great job. Axon Jackson did well. You're
Yeah, there
familiar
you
with
go.
his.
I never saw that. I never saw that.
It was
Okay.
good.
All right, all right. I've been told before. I'm glad I haven't seen it, but it is what it is. So Mike, what do you got for Carl Weathers? How did you like him here?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Dago nailed it. Steve, you haven't seen it either. I have to see Action Jackson just because I love Carl Weathers. I loved him and Happy Gilmore, doing a different side of him. This was absolutely a great role for him, and I swear I don't know why this didn't dawn on me until I saw, because I knew Carl Weathers was in it. We all know the famous handshake, Dylan, you son of a bitch. Uh, Incredible line, incredible memes. It was the first time it occurred to me that maybe there have been other actors, but Carl Weathers, back when Schwarzenegger and Stallone had their big rivalry, he's at least the only actor, and I'm sure there were others, that was in movies with both of them. And I'm wondering whether
Oh yeah.
Schwarzenegger, since there was that rivalry going on, that he said, I had heard that they had said Stallone has fought everything except E.T. And so maybe that's the concept for this movie. And he said, just to rub Stallone's face in it, I'm going to ask Carl Weathers to be in it.
All right, that could be, and I actually looked it up because I was wondering about it, and
Yeah.
this was 2 years after Rocky Four was filmed.
Okay.
There is sort of like Carl Weathers is sort of out and he's free, and Rocky Five, as you know, didn't was Rocky Five was terrible, bro. Don't even watch it.
Yeah.
But maybe Stallone's like, yeah, okay, we're back and forth here, and Carl
Yeah.
Weathers is sort of out there, and I can take him and use him, right? So
Yeah.
um I thought he did a great job transitioning from Apollo Creed, because Creed in movies one and two,
Mhm.
totally overconfident, um, you know, and but then in three, they become friends, and in four again he's overconfident and he ends up getting
Mhm.
killed. Um,
Yeah.
but like he ended up being a friendly guy at the end, and he's got fond memories of his, and now he's like a slimy CIA guy, like,
Mhm.
and I thought he did well at it, like, because I was like, Carl Weathers, like, I like this dude, he's like Rocky's best
Oh, yeah.
butt, and how's he going to
Mhm.
pull off the slimy CIA guy? He did, man. So he
Right.
did very good work. I remember him mainly all the Rocky movies, one, two, three, and four. So
Mhm.
um, yeah, he's great, and he's got great biceps for that scene, man. It was
I'm
awesome,
not
right?
sure what that means, but
So listen, we're going to talk about Blaine Cooper, played by Jesse Ventura.
yeah.
You know what? I put him here. He didn't have a huge part, but he's the next guy I put because he's just like the most famous person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the next most famous person. How'd you like him in this, Mike?
Yeah, Steve, you nailed it when you said he did not have a big part. That was probably the most shocking thing to me, how quickly he got eliminated. It almost reminds me of, if y'all seen Deep Blue Sea,
Yep.
when they took out Samuel L. Jackson, he was the first person killed. I
Yeah.
said, I'm not even sure what's going on now, because
Yeah.
I thought, well, he's definitely going to be the hero. Same thing. I knew that Jesse Ventura was not going to be the hero. You know, Blaine was not going to save everybody. But he was my favorite character. I was like, how can you get rid of him? Because
Right.
Jesse Ventura just has so much charisma.
Yep.
I mean, he's had a fascinating life. I know you all know. He's been a Navy SEAL. He's been a pro wrestler. He was the body. He's been an actor in movies and TV. He's had, I want to say the name of the show. He had a series one time, Conspiracy Theory.
Yeah.
And then he was the governor of Minnesota.
Yeah.
And
What are the chances now? I just jump in here, Mike. What are
yeah,
the chances we got two governors, right, in this
Yeah.
movie? I mean, that's
hey, great,
crazy.
great point. Yeah, you got Arnold there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
And
right. So how did you like Jesse in here, Dago?
I'm gonna agree with Mike. He was also my favorite character for all the wrong reasons. He was just
oh yeah.
uncensored. I watched some behind the scenes stuff, and the directors said that they often had to bring Jesse back down. They had to dial him down. He was just too much. And when they were
Mhm.
doing the talking head spots of Jesse, and this was all on set, so this was like back in the 80s. Jesse was in character in his wrestling character, almost like he
Mhm.
was talking to Hulk Hogan because he was a professional wrestler at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was he was so funny, even though there was no like humor or comedic relief intended.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I agree with you, Mike. I was surprised and bummed that he died so
Yeah.
early on. But if you think about it, the way he died, like the moment we see the characters die throughout the movie, his
Mhm.
was by far the most brutal.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, like a gaping hole in his chest. Like
Mhm.
I don't know if it was just by happenstance with the writing or if they were intentional where we need to make this believable. The Predator is going to take out the obvious, biggest, baddest, loudest threat. And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was Jesse at the time with the
Yeah.
big, Gatling gun, and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. That's a good theory there. He did decent in the simple role. I don't know of any other big movies he was in. But yeah, our second governor here, he did a good job. And I think it was just for the ticket. They're like, hey, this guy's free. He's going to be big and muscly like Carl Weathers and Arnold. Let's put him in there, right? So, and he's more than wanting to do that. So we're going to continue with main characters. Some of these people are smaller parts, but they're part of the team.
Mhm.
So I'm including them here. So
Yeah.
we'll start with Billy Soul, played by Sonny Landham. And this is the guy I remember from 48 Hours. How did you like him in here, Mike?
He might have been the movie's coolest character. He wasn't my favorite, but he was interesting to watch. He doesn't say that much. Um, I want to say he probably garnered the most respect
Yeah.
from the other members of the team, because when he
Yeah.
spoke up, it was like, if y'all remember back in the day, my broker's E.F. Hutton, and E.F.
Yeah.
Hutton said, and everybody just stops talking.
Yep. 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 I
Uh,
remember the
and,
commercials,
and
man.
yeah, and I don't want to say it's my favorite scene, but I want to say I love the scene toward the end where he's standing on that log bridge, drops his weapon, cuts himself. He's waiting for the predator. He's just like, you know what? Uh, Start bringing it. And
Yeah.
we don't get to see it, but I thought that was such a cool scene.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's taking one for the team for sure there.
Yeah.
Dago, how did you like Billy?
Yeah, definitely echoing everything Mike said. I thought he was a good character. I thought he was cool, like cool-headed, never overly reactive. Um, I did like the scene, like you said, Mike, like the, bring it on, cuts himself. But I didn't know if the way we find out he dies, which is we hear him scream off in the distance, I didn't
Yeah.
know if they did that to illustrate this coolest, baddest character screamed in such a shrill way, like, oh my God, what is this thing that we're fighting? But the way I received it was, well, you were cool this whole time, and then I heard you wail like a little girl off in the distance. And I
Yeah.
was like, it kind of like, I don't know.
Dago. That is a great point. I did not even think of it that way. But yeah, he's the coolest guy, and then he
Yeah.
screams out. I didn't even
Yeah.
pick up on that.
I was like, I don't know, but I'm
Yeah,
not familiar with the actor's work at all.
yeah,
But I do know from watching behind the scenes stuff, apparently he had a temper,
yeah.
and the production had to hire a bodyguard to protect everyone from him because he would always get into fights.
Jeez,
So
what's
yeah,
so he's playing like the character, like in real life. Then he's like the character he played in 48 Hours. Um,
I
if you
I
remember
guess.
48 Hours, the so like here, okay, this guy, I'm guessing he has the look of an American Indian, right? A Native
Mhm.
American. So I'm guessing he's the Native American tracker. His tracking comments way too specific. This is ridiculous. He's like he's like Major. 8 men
Uh-huh.
came through here. One of them had
Yeah.
size 8.5 boots. The other one was size 11. He says one of them had 3/4 in his left pocket. Like
Mhm.
he's saying all this. It's like way too specific,
Oh yeah.
like way too specific. Like he's not that good. But so anyway, I
Yeah.
thought that was
Hey,
ridiculous. Go ahead.
oh yeah, I was going to say because people expect us to do deep dives on this. So only in the interest of research did I find out that Sonny Landham, the actor here, was a porn actor back in the 70s.
Oh, really?
And
Oh
he
my gosh.
created such memorable characters as Lane the Milkman,
Oh my
Junkie
God.
Number
Oh,
One,
All right.
First
interesting.
Yellow Toga Guy, and Clyde before
All right.
going on to mainstream movies. So I think we got to
Clyde.
tip our
Okay.
hat
Yeah.
to how he got
I
started.
mean, the only thing I remember him in besides Predator is 48
Yeah,
Hours. But
Yeah.
geez.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean,
it,
if he had a temper, then maybe he wasn't a very good porn actor.
I don't know, or
You
maybe he
you
was
need
a
a good
great one.
temperament for that role.
He could have been a great one, right? So,
That's right.
um, I don't get it though. Why did he sacrifice himself? He's like, oh, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to take this thing on. Well, keep your damn weapon with you and start just firing into if you can't see it, right?
Mhm.
I don't know why he said it's like he gives up. He's like, this thing's too much. I'm going to go and
Yeah.
just I'll give him 5 extra minutes and stand on this log like a dumbass, right?
He said,
That's
I'm going old school.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. So let's talk about Mac Elliott. He was referred to once in the movie that I could remember
Yeah.
by Dutch as Sergeant when he was trying to like get his attention. And it's played by Bill Duke. How do you like him in this role, Dago?
He was good. He wasn't bad. He wasn't one of my favorite characters. I didn't dislike him. Mac Elliott, I've seen him in some other roles before. I know he was in Commando. He did like a fist fight with Arnold, and that was most memorable for me. But he was all right. What I remember the most of his character in this movie growing up, and I
Yeah.
think about it every time these two things happen to me. Every time I sweat profusely, I think of his
Mhm.
character. And every time I see like the pack of cheap razors,
Yeah.
I think
Uh-huh.
of his character.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much the impression or the
Uh-huh.
impact his character had on me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Very good, Michael. What do you got on Bill Duke here?
Yeah, I think Dago nailed it, especially with the dry shave. That did make me think about boot camp when before they'd send us in the gas chamber, they would make us dry shave, and I'm convinced it was just so it hurt more. Um, but in terms of his character, I think Dago had it too because you see him always as a great supporting character. I don't remember him ever carrying a film, but he's always somebody good to back up the action. And Dago, I was wondering where I'd seen him before, and that was Commando because he was
Yeah.
playing a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank
Oh,
you.
all right. All right. So yeah, I thought he did good work here generally. Why is he constantly shaving? They're not putting protective masks
Mhm.
on or anything to keep the seal on the mask. I
Yeah.
don't know what he's doing. And it's not a dry shave, I have to tell you, because like Dago said, he's soaked. Like they're pouring a hose over him and he's shaving. Like, and he went crazy. Like, I don't know why he went crazy at the end because his
Mhm.
friend I guess Jesse and him made it through. They were the only two survivors or something they alluded to
Yeah.
in some big battle, but he just lost it, man. I don't know. I don't remember him from any other roles. I don't remember. Commando was pretty bad, bro. So I don't even remember him in Commando. I'm sitting there thinking, listening to you guys and thinking, I can't remember it. You know, the only thing I remember about Commando was like there used to be like this count, like people were arguing online before about how many people he killed in that movie, and I know
Yeah.
it's probably like up to 100 or something. So
Yeah.
all right, yeah, he did all right there. So I don't know why he's
Mhm.
shaving, he went crazy, but okay, Pancho Ramirez, we're going to talk about him. He's played by Richard Chavez. Mike, how did you like this guy? And you said that he was the explosives expert, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him. Again, we've talked about this on several movies where I think he's a great supporting character. I think he was asking a lot of good questions. You know, when they were talking about what's going on, I think he seemed like the thinker of the group too. But there wasn't a lot that just like wowed me with the role. But then again, I don't think that was the point of his role either.
Yeah, yeah. Dago, how'd you like Pancho here?
I liked him. I would say of all the supporting characters, he was probably up at the top for me. Because like you said, Mike, he did kind of think things through. He was a bit more articulate, just not one-liners.
Yeah.
And he showed a little bit more emotion, like a good acting basically, right, for the type of movie and the type of conversations or the dialogue that he had in the movie. I also appreciated that he is a military veteran. I learned that, and that he did
Oh,
fight
wow.
in Vietnam. And he said that the experience filming in Mexico in the
Hmm.
jungle, that it was very reminiscent of that. So it was easy for him to get back into that role, which I wondered if it lent itself to his, delivery of the dialogue. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Could have. So
Huh.
yeah, it's a small role. He
Yeah.
he I remember him because he lasted the longest on the team besides Dutch, obviously.
yep.
Mhm.
And I think he did a decent job. I haven't seen him in anything else though. Have you? Anyone?
Small parts
Uh,
here and there. I can't even recall the name of the movies. When I looked them up, I was like, oh yeah, yeah. Now he looks familiar because now they've since aged. It was a 1987 movie.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
All
Steve,
right.
you
Yeah.
you did bring up a great point though, because like y'all mentioned earlier, Jesse the Body was one of the first ones to get killed.
Yep.
This was a low key guy. He was more of a thinker, and then he's one of the last ones to get killed. So I really hadn't thought about that either.
Yeah, he lasted the longest because he's not like a
Yeah.
dummy standing out on the log cutting his chest, right?
uh,
I don't know. It's crazy. So now this is the first guy killed. Rick Hawkins is played by Shane Black. So we didn't even get to know him almost at all, did we? So how did you like Shane Black's job here, Dago?
I hated him. I was cheering when his character died.
Mhm.
A terrible joke teller.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, he was a weird character. If you know anything about him beyond this role, and I knew this through other movies that I've watched, Shane Black is just an odd person. He
Okay.
actually wrote the Lethal Weapon series, and I think he helped co-write it. He also wrote Last Action Hero, which is another Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh yeah.
I love that one. He wrote and directed Iron Man 3. He also directed the 2018 Predator sequel called The Predator.
Oh, jeez.
Mm.
He's and when you look at the interviews that he's given over the years, he's like that character.
Okay.
He's a little quirky to me, so they gave us
Uh,
someone to root for to die,
All right.
yeah.
and it worked.
All
So
right. Very good. Very good. How did you like him here, Mike?
He didn't have what you call the social skill. Now those jokes, and I did question this as I was watching it because I was like, I have heard those god awful jokes throughout my life, but then it occurred to me, is this the first movie where they told those jokes, and then the other times I heard them, they were just repeating them?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a tiny small part, but he's part of the team. That's why I included him really. So I didn't know
yeah.
he's done as much stuff as Dago just told us about. So this is
Oh
great.
no, I had no
He's
idea.
he's a talented guy, whether you like him or not. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm glad he got killed pretty quickly there. So,
Oh, good.
um, Anna Consalves, Dylan's prisoner, played by Elpidia Carrillo, right? I'll
Mhm.
try to have some pronunciation there. Mike, how did you like her? She almost was like, how many lines would you say she had? Like almost nothing.
Yeah, yeah, like you're saying, it's I almost feel like her one of her only functions was to you needed somewhere where you didn't have to have a narrator or somebody else. She kind of gave the predator mythology. She kind of
Yeah.
told
Okay.
what you're kind of dealing with here, and that her people are familiar with this, and this is how it works.
Yeah.
So in terms of the character, and no reflection on the actress that played her, it just wasn't. I don't think her character was put there to be that interesting, other than to give us that backstory.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Dago, what do you got on her?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Mike. I was not impressed. I haven't seen her in anything else.
Mhm.
She she was good. She wasn't good. It
Yeah.
is what it is. I also realized that there was no other female in the movie.
Yeah.
So like
Mhm.
not even in the boot camp
Yeah.
or the guerrilla camp.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't know if it was just also the formula of a 1980s action movie is we at least have to give the audience a damsel in distress, even though she
Yeah.
Mhm.
was never in distress. She
Mhm.
was wanting to fight the predator and helping save, anyone injured. So
Yeah.
yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I know we were all waiting for the love story to unfold that we all hoped would be there.
Well, yeah. At the start of the movie, when you see her, you're introduced to her. You're thinking, oh, maybe they're going to do this because they do this in '80s movies, right?
Yeah.
But there was no love interest. She did a decent job for what she was asked to do. I feel like I've seen her in other movies, but I can't remember any. And I'm going to tell you, the only thing is, wasn't there a point? Correct me if I'm totally wrong. Like
Mhm.
she's pretending like she speaks Spanish only like for half the movie, and then
Yeah.
suddenly she speaks in English. So
Mhm.
she's being a problem. I don't know. So
Oh yeah.
so I included this the Predator, even though there's zero acting,
Mhm.
and but the Predator's in it, right? So Kevin Peter Hall plays the body, or so the walking around part with the suit on, and Peter Cullen the voice. There wasn't that much of talking, but
Mhm.
um, what did you think about the Predator creature and how those guys did that, Dago?
Oh, dude, I might talk a while on this one. So the Predator, uh, it is the Predator is my favorite creature, horror creature in all movies.
Mhm.
Like that creature just it terrified me as a kid, but I couldn't look away. It was
Yeah.
so cool and horrifying. The way that the body moved, like it was an 80s movie, so there's not a lot of updated technology like nowadays for sophisticated wire work. So,
Mhm.
Kevin Peter Hall did a great job for what he needed to do. But there's a lot of information of how that was not the original look of the Predator. That
Okay.
they as in the studio had hired some other company to make the Predator, and it was like a praying mantis style short bug looking thing.
Huh.
Mhm.
Um, and the actor who was portraying that creature was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh,
And the thought was that Van Damme would have the like physique to like kick and jump and fight Schwarzenegger, even though Van Damme wasn't as prominent as he was in the 90s.
Mhm.
okay.
So he fainted so many times. No one liked the suit. Van Damme dropped out, and everyone they stopped filming, and they were like, "What are we going to do? We don't have a creature." And then that's when they brought in, and we'll talk about them in a minute. I forget who made the
Mhm.
suit. I think it was Sam Winston. He created the design of the Predator, and he was also known for designing the like dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. He designed the monster of the Thing, Edward Scissorhands, the Terminator exoskeleton. Like he designed the actual suit and the look. So I thought it was super cool, super awesome. Peter Cullen, I mean, that's the voice of Optimus Prime, right? Like he
Okay.
voiced
Mhm.
all of Optimus Prime in the movies and the cartoons and the games. He was the voice of 1976's King Kong, with Jeff Bridges.
Mhm.
Like he's a super prominent voice actor. And one of the cooler stories about
Wait,
how
wait,
he
wait a second. Wait, what? A voice in King Kong? King Kong didn't talk. What are you
he
talking
had
about,
he
dude?
what do you mean? He had,
He
grunts and
spoke three
gurgling
Oh
and
languages.
my
What are you
he,
God.
talking about, Steve?
That's
you
not on
know,
your resume,
I
bro.
mean,
Get out of
come
here.
on. He's not, come on.
I
We
was
gotta
thinking,
give it to him.
I saw that with Jeff Bridges, and I'm like, that gorilla never
It
said
made
anything.
That's
noise.
before he went to
That-
college.
Oh my God.
but
Everybody knows it.
it still just speaks to his pedigree as a voice actor.
All
We'll
right.
say it
All
that way.
right.
But
Jeez.
the last thing about Peter Cullen and the whole Predator, what he brought to it, that clicking noise, that is the
Mhm.
iconic Predator clicking noise. He said that he was like on some beach and there was an upside down crab dying, and instead of helping it, he let it die. And as it was dying in the shallow
Mhm.
part of the water, it was like bubbling and it was making
Okay.
that noise, and he saw the legs, which reminded him of the mandibles because he saw what the suit was going to look like, and then he
Mhm.
imitated it for the movie.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So
That's sort of crazy. He seems like he's got some problems to me, but Mike, how did you like the Predator, Mike?
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, I'll just speak on the Predator itself instead of the two guys. I'm not familiar with the two guys, but I love the look. It was like a Rastafarian warrior, had the dreadlocks
mhm.
coming down. And Dago, you're completely right in terms of when there's the unveiling at the end, you just can't stop looking at that. It is so bizarre.
Yeah.
Uh, and I can't help it when you mentioned Jean-Claude Van Damme. I do feel like we were a little robbed there because I would have loved to have seen, Predator do a full body split and like a groin strike or something. So that would have
Absolutely.
been
Oh
cool.
man.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I added this just because I felt like someone like Dago, a super fan, would say, "Hey, how come we're not talking about the Predator?" No
yeah.
real acting here, very little of the voice. I did read that. I think it's going to be Kevin Peter Hall, what was also in this
Yep.
costume in Harry and the Hendersons,
Yep.
which
Mhm.
is terrible movie, by the way. Just going to say that. Um,
Mhm.
so
It's
um,
still Bigfoot.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's not good. So yeah, it's all right. I would say, do you know who the Predator's wimpy little brother is? Jar
No.
Jar 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 Binks.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Got that
Oh.
similar look. It's so Jar Jar Binks, the worst creature ever created for
Yeah,
anything ever.
I agree. That killed that whole movie.
Yeah, that whole movie struggled anyway, but Jar Jar
Yeah.
just put it in the toilet. So, all
Mhm.
right, favorite part, Dago. You're the super fan. I'm going to let you go. What's your favorite part? Favorite scene?
Ooh,
What do you got?
favorite part, favorite scene. Honestly, it is in the beginning when Dutch and crew are flying through the jungle right over the treetops. And you just see all of them talking. They're blaring the music, the red light. You could barely hear the dialogue. It just seems so real. Like I was never in the military, but I think that's so cool. I respect it so much. And I don't know if that was portrayed accurately or not, but obviously, as a 7, 8 year old, it had a
Mhm.
significant impact on me.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
when Ventura's character delivers a very iconic, memorable line that's super inappropriate.
Mhm.
The bad jokes.
Uh,
Ventura spits on Dylan's shoe. And
mhm.
Dylan does the one finger, like, come here, and he's like, that's a bad habit you got there. Like all like it was so iconic. Like it was such a cool scene. And also thinking about there were no drones back then. They
Mhm.
Yep.
had to film those scenes real time,
Yeah.
probably in another helicopter, another pilot flying behind them trying to get the shots they wanted. I'm like,
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So
All
Mhm.
right. All right. Very good. I will say this. I've been in, that's a UH-1H. That's what they're flying there. Man, dude, you can hardly hear anything. You got to scream. They
Mhm.
wouldn't hear the music,
Mhm.
and it's like it's hard to breathe if you're there and like the doors are open. If you're close, like it's hard to breathe. I'm almost like hyperventilating half the time because you feel like there's too much air rushing in. But anyway, so Mike, favorite
Yeah.
part, favorite scene. What do you guys?
Yeah. Now that was a good scene. For me, it was at the end. Schwarzenegger has been through the ringer. He and Predator have come literally face to face, and at least I interpreted it before the fight was over. There was all I couldn't decide whether the Predator had decided, you know what, you're so weak, I don't even need all of this, or I'm a warrior, you're a warrior. He just starts dropping his gear. He takes off his mask, he drops the gear, and by and large, they went toe to toe. I mean, they still had a little bit of weapons going on. And then toward the end of the fight, where he used the booby trap to take Predator out, it totally threw me off. You hadn't really heard a whole lot of vocalization, and then Predator starts laughing with that maniacal laugh and sets off that almost a nuclear explosion. So for me, it was the fact that they went toe to toe right there at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was good. And I think you're right, Mike. I think he was like basically like, this guy is pretty tough. If I really want to make a trophy of this, I'm going to do it without my technology. And let me just prove that I'm the better, stronger, more dominant thing. So pretty cool. So we all had different ones this time. My favorite scene is the mud scene. When you see Schwarzenegger's eyes, through the mud and the things right there. And that's really sort of the first time you get a full look of the thing from what I remember. Yeah. And I like it. My youngest son, he said that he had been on YouTube and seen people did experiments with that, and that they got it to work for like mud to cover up and not have someone show up on infrared or heat, whatever that is. I don't know if that's true. He said it was something on YouTube. It could have been a hoax, but I just liked it because he's right there and he's just stay still, don't move. And then his eyes blink open. They stick out so much. I just thought it was well done, cinematically too. So I'd like to give an honorable mention, obviously, to the epic handshake. That's epic 80s. I love it. And just when you talked about it during the plot, Mike, when they lit up the forest and just were firing and firing and firing, that was just fun to see. It was just, it was just fun, just total waste of ammo. So
that was great.
Yeah. All right. So, nothing's perfect. So we're going to talk about the least favorite part or stupidest scene. We're going to let you start here. Mike, what do you got, sir?
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of fat in this movie. Everything serves a purpose. So I even understand why the scene that I would like to see changed or taken out. It was that scene where Predator needed to get in and steal Blaine's body. So they have that wild hog, wild boar trip it. And it was supposed to give you a jump scare, but to me, it was stupid. It wasn't scary. No. And if you watch it, the actual effect was so bad. It looks like one of the camera crew threw the body of the hog into frame. So yeah, that was just bad to me.
All right. Very good. Dago, least favorite. I know you're a super fan. There's got to be something that you think.
You know what? There's a lot. I'm gonna just do a few, not too many. The first obvious one for me is anytime you're looking through the eyes of the Predator.
Okay.
I hate it. Like, it's just so bad, and I know that it's technology at the time, but he was in the middle of the fight with Dutch and whoever else, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like now, like this takes away from the believability of anything, and I realize I'm saying that about fighting an alien. But anyway, aside from that, the other part that I hate is when Dutch goes out in the middle to be the prey, or not the prey, to be the bait.
Yep.
For the Predator to come, and he turns out the Predator's right behind him and gets caught up in the net.
Yep.
What the hell was that scream? It was not the Predator. It was the most whiny little I hated it. I was like, what the? Okay, sure. So there was that, and then I will, the honorable mention about all the shooting and firing in the jungle. The one thing that took it away from me was Carl Weathers. Because he had his whatever was an MP9, and he's doing the stereotypical bad guy swaying back and forth really fast, like not aiming at anything. It was like, I don't claim to be an expert in firearms, but I'm pretty sure that's not how they teach you in any military organization. So then I'll stop at that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I agree with those. I got to tell you, man, my least favorite part,
Uh,
Mac rushes off. He's chasing the predator. Then Dylan catches up to him, and they can actually see the damn thing.
mhm.
You can see the silhouette. Like they're like, look, it's right there. It's right there. And then they show us, and I'm like, yeah, you can see it. Why aren't you shooting the damn thing? No one takes the shot. They're just like, okay, they're talking about it. They're like, you've got some good weapons there. Take the shot. Clearly, the thing has been hit before, right? Like if it bleeds, we can kill it. You know that, but take the shot. They didn't take it, and then they both get killed for it, right? What are you going to sneak up close? I got to sneak up real close. That's movie stuff, right? So, dishonorable mention on when they attacked the gorilla compound. Why is everyone blowing up forward out of their things?
Oh my God!
Everyone's going for it. So this is just a stupid thing. You know, you're throwing a grenade into a hole and the person comes flying out at you. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't like all the weapons. You can see I've got a lot of dishonorable mentions here. So I don't like all the weapons are different, right? Everyone's got their own weapon. Like Billy even had like a pump shotgun with a M203 40 millimeter grenade launcher on the bottom of it, like 1 point. What is that? That's not a real thing. And so if everyone's got different weapons, then there's no ammo sharing, right? So that's a problem, right? So no one's, and the minigun, stupid. I look up this minigun is 95 pounds, right? And in fact, to even hold it and stick it, with Jesse, they had wires and stuff that were actually helping him hold it up, because you think, well, he's a big guy, he can do it. No one's going to hump a 95-pound weapon through there, right? It's not going to work. That is, and no one could hold it. That thing is not that's not even a crew serve weapon. That's nothing. That thing is
that's
mounted to a vehicle or an aircraft, right? So as fun as it was to watch, right? And for like 500 rounds of ammo for that thing is going to be like 11 pounds. And so he's got way more, like, so he's carrying around like 190 pounds of stuff. No way, not going to happen. Billy, our American Indian or Native American tracker, he's a Native American tracker. They light the forest up for 10 minutes and they're like, let's go look, see if we got anything. And Billy comes back, we didn't find anything. We didn't hit nothing. And the girl is like, oh, look, bright green blood right here. Like she found it in like 1 second. Billy's missing that. He's not that good of a tracker. He would have seen it. Bright green blood too. I saw it. They come back, Major, we didn't see anything. And I see like back in, there's bright green blood on these leaves. Come on, man. And the bow, my youngest son was like, stop the movie. He was like, that bow would not shoot an arrow all the way through that tree. It wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it. It's just not going to do it. So, okay.
Maybe the tree's rotten. Maybe it's falling apart.
That's a solid point.
It was standing up. Come on.
We can't discount this.
Come on. It's terrible, right?
No.
Oh, geez. It's killing me. So, all right. So what of a new thing here? What's your best one-liner from this thing, Mike? This movie is one that, sometimes you watch a movie and you're like, there's not really a big one-liner, not a lot. This one had a lot of stuff, man. What's your favorite?
Yeah, probably right toward the beginning, just where Schwarzenegger basically takes the commando knife, impales the bad guy against the wall or hut or whatever that was, and he's like, stick around.
Yeah.
And then that's when you thought it was going to be a traditional Arnold movie, and they pulled a fast one.
Yeah. All right, that's a good one. What do you got, Dago?
Well, I won't get to the chopper because I've already said that one. I would say it isn't the compound scene because it is so stupid. It's funny, even though it's a bad joke. It's when Arnold kicks down the door and goes knock knock, and then he shotguns the bad guy. I cannot tell you how many times as a kid I've thought to myself, like growing up, like, oh, I do a one-liner right now. Like I've stopped what I'm doing to deliver a fictitious one-liner. Like that movie was that impactful.
Right.
There you go. And, there's a lot of good ones, man.
And that bad guy probably didn't even speak English. Right before he died, he was probably like, "Hey."
Well, yeah, he was Russian, so
Yeah.
So I love If It Bleeds, We Can Kill It. I love it. I love it, man. It's just funny, and I'm a big fan of we're a rescue team, not assassins. That's what Dutch talking about his team. And then it's Jesse the body, I
Mhm.
ain't got time to bleed, right?
Yeah.
There's just tons of them. And you talk Get to the Chopper, it just
Mhm.
goes on. There's if any movie has one-liners, this is the movie
Yeah.
for that, right?
Mhm.
Um, all right, very good. Additional comments on this movie, things we haven't talked about, Mike, that you want to bring up?
Yeah, just real quick, to
Yeah.
your point about Ain't Got Time to Bleed, that was also the name of Jesse Ventura's autobiography. And it's not exactly a great American classic, but it is worth a read. I
Okay.
liked it.
All right.
But I do want to say, and this definitely did not occur to me when I was a kid because I was not that deep of a thinker. Not that I am now, but it did occur to me last night when I was watching this. It's really three different movies. Uh, and I would compare it like From Dusk Till Dawn. If y'all have seen that, it starts
Yeah.
off as a great criminal thriller. And just in like the last half hour of the movie, it turned into a vampire horror movie. So
Hmm.
Okay.
one of the coolest things about Predator is it changed genres. It's seamless. You don't even really notice it. About the
Yeah.
first 30 minutes are a standard Schwarzenegger action movie, like we talked about, the one-liners we're talking about. The middle turns into a slasher horror movie. We've got people disappearing one by one. It was almost like Friday the 13th, but with soldiers instead of teenagers. And we got Predator taking the place of Jason or Michael Myers. The last little part turns into a survival thriller where you got the one-on-one battle at the very end. So to me, there were these transitions,
Okay.
but I thought it worked for it with it.
Yeah, good point. Good point, man. So,
Mhm.
Dago, additional comments?
Um, no, not really about the movie, just more so I guess the franchise or the Predator itself. Like this catapulted alien sci-fi horror. Well, it continued the momentum, right?
Yeah.
Because Alien and The Thing back in the
Mhm.
70s that started it, I would argue,
Yep.
even before then with some other movies. But the franchise has just like exploded, and I think you mentioned that early on, Gonzo, about how there's books. I read a lot of the books, comic books. I mean, I read I don't know how many comic books of Batman versus Predator, right? I watched the Alien versus Predator movies. The first one is actually pretty good, even though it's PG-13.
Mhm.
And that kind of takes a Predator is a ally angle. The second one was terrible. AVP Requiem, just like it was horrible.
Mhm.
But even now, like right now, there's a movie on Hulu called Prey, and that is part of the Predator lore. That takes place like way before Predator One, and there's a lot of nods to the hat of what we saw in this first Predator movie, and I
Yeah.
would highly recommend it. There's even an animated movie called Predator Killer of Killers, very good. It's a bit of an anthology, like a samurai who comes across a predator, a Nordic warrior who comes across a predator. Like it's pretty cool. So yeah, I love the franchise. Seen all the sequels. But To Catch a Predator, I still don't understand that sequel. Chris Hansen's in that one all the time. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
All
All right.
right.
All right. Very good. Very good. So, yeah, like I talked about, I've got my notes here. Carl Weathers. This is 2 years after his last appearance in Rocky Four. I saw Predator Two. I can't remember it. Like, I can't
What?
remember. I can't remember because it.
Come
I'm
on.
gonna go on a limb right
Dago
now and
said
say
he is completely disgusted.
Oh my
because
God.
it sucked. That's why it
It
has to
was
be that I
not
can't
that
remember it.
bad.
And
It
is
was,
this
come
not
on.
who's the guy in it? The cop.
Glover,
Yeah,
Danny Glover.
Danny
Oh,
Glover.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. So
okay.
come
He's
on.
just as sweaty as Duke. So there's the
Oh,
the tip of the
jeez,
hat from the first one.
jeez,
All right.
He's just as sweaty.
Just
jeez. It's
saying.
it's it's like Lethal
Bill
Weapon with a
Paxton. Come
Predator
on.
instead of Mel Gibson, right? So and I saw Prey. I did see Prey on Hulu, and this was several years ago, and I remember it was like American or Native
Yep.
Americans, right, and stuff. Still can't remember anything about it. So
Oh my
it
God.
it probably sucked too. So I'm just saying because if I can't even remember anything about it, any specific, I don't know, man. So I
I think you
think
got a memory issue.
that's very possible, dude. I came of age in the '80s, so
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I did want to say at the beginning of the movie when things started unfolding, I
Yep.
was thinking this is just another version of Back Home for me, where Predator is like one of my buddies up in a tree stand, and all the characters are running around like 10-point bucks. So even with the weapons, it
Oh
still
my God.
fits because if you've ever seen when animals attack videos where the
Yes.
wounded deer is coming after the hunter, it's the same thing.
There you go. There you go. That's interesting. Interesting point of view,
That's
Michael.
hey.
Um, so in my opinion, Predator, this should have been a one and done. I'm going on a limb right now. Should have been one and done. And it would sit a lot better with me. So it's like come up with a new idea, people. Come on. Stop with
Yeah.
all the sequels, right? For instance, the worst thing.
Dago said, I'm about to log out.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, come up with an idea. Damn it. Come on. Okay, so since it's such a it should have been one and done, people. I'm telling you. We want to talk about it. It's not worth it watching anything if you don't get a message, a lesson, or a moral of the story. What'd you get from this, Dago? And let's not talk about anything about tidy whities, all right? So come on.
Okay, hey, you know what? I'm surprised you remember that because you don't remember anything from the other great movies. I'm just saying. So I mean, it's a popcorn movie, man. I don't think there's a deeper meaning like I took from the other movie we reviewed, Top
Okay.
Gun Maverick. I honestly think, moral of the story, eat your veggies, exercise. Like it was the one scene that made me feel terrible was when they were putting the booby trap together, and they're
Yeah.
all like, you know what? Let's take our shirts off.
Mhm.
And there I am, eating my nachos and my popcorn and regular Coke. And I'm like, damn, like,
Mhm.
okay, I guess I got to work out tomorrow. I still haven't, but,
Then
you know,
YMCA comes
it
on
Oh
was
and
my
just,
the whole
yeah,
God.
movie
it was,
pivots.
the point of the story was have a good time,
Yeah,
Okay.
lift
Okay.
heavy metal, throw it down,
I
repeat.
like it.
Like, I
Okay.
guess. So.
All right.
That is
All
a
right.
solid message.
Mike, how are you? How are you going to salvage this? So,
Well, I looked into the deeper meaning, guys, and I came up with real courage is refusing to quit after you've lost everything. Because
true.
if you look at Dylan, and we've talked a little bit about this already, by the end, Dutch has lost every teammate, every weapon, every advantage, pretty much every ounce of hope. He keeps fighting anyway. So the movie suggests that courage is not the absence of fear, it's continuing despite it. And I realize both of you and me, that's not a new idea, but that was my big picture takeaway.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, I recently either read that or in a book or saw it in a movie where that exact quote that you just said about courage, definitely something.
Courage under fire. Because and I think we've all experienced this as guys. We've all had the thought, what if I get into it with somebody, which is the case here. He hit him as hard as he possibly could. So imagine getting in a fight, not that you would want to, but you get in a fight, you hit somebody in the face as hard as you can with all you got. They're totally, they got their hands down and they're still standing there looking at you. Because that's kind of where Arnold was.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. For me, I got like, hey, brains over brawn. We said he had to beat him with his mind. He had
Yeah.
to think and not just be what he does in every other movie. Just be like, I'm stronger than you, and I can beat you up. So
Yeah.
brains over brawn. Even though, like, if you're going to send a message and have a lesson to anyone watching, hey, we want you to know brains will beat brawn every time. I'm thinking you're not going to use Arnold Schwarzenegger as the example there because he's such a big, strong guy himself. But you know what? And if you watch that documentary, he's a smart guy. I mean, he's been so successful. So,
Yeah.
and he's a goal setter and he's a goal getter. The thing that jumped out from that to me most to go on a tangent here is he was like, oh, I'm going to be Mr. Olympia. And people said, what's your plan B? He's like, you don't have a plan B. He said, that's it. Everything else is failure. And he lived his life that way. He was like, no, I'm not going to accept anything but what I want to do. And the same thing when he said, I want to be the highest paid action movie actor. And people like, listen, you, with your voice, you can't do it. It's not going to work. He was like, I'm doing it. And he did it. Right. Yeah. And then Governor of California. I mean, this guy is a go-getter. Right. So the other
Steve,
thing.
I have to say, just because you brought it up, if you took away the muscles and you took away the weapons and the charisma, Then we're stuck back with Karate Kid.
Oh my God.
This movie would be Karate Kid if you took everything away.
Karate Kid, worst case of what do they call them when they pick the actors? Casting. Worst case of casting ever. That kid, Ralph Macchio, he couldn't beat up my little sister, man. Come on. So another message another message I get from that is beware of hubris, right? Overconfidence. That Predator was like, oh yeah, no problem, right? Took all his gear off. Yeah, I'll take you on it. Maybe you should have used the high technology and you would have blown a hole in his chest like you did Jesse, right?
Yeah.
Another message: CIA is slimy because Dylan couldn't be trusted at the end of the day. They're a rescue team. They want to rescue people. He really wanted people killed, right? So that's all I've got for this. So it is what it is, right? So all right. So Dago, if someone hasn't seen this, you run into them and they're like, man, what should I do? Should I even waste the time? Should I get in? What are you going to tell them? Watch it or trash it?
Absolutely watch it.
Okay.
Definitely watch it. I mean, you can't escape it. It's part of pop culture. So why not watch the original?
Okay. As long as Jar Jar Binks is not in it, right? So okay. Mike, what do you got? What's your recommendation?
Yeah, I would say watch it. I mean, the story, the action, the performances, they still hold up. Even if some of the special effects, like Predator weapons, they had a Battlestar Galactica feel to me. And I know a lot of people are like, what the hell is Battlestar Galactica? But,
I know what it is.
Yeah, they feel a little dated. Definitely worth a watch. I'm glad I bought it off Amazon. I got it for under $5 last night. So it's out there.
Okay, very good. Very good. I would say too, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's fun, however annoying it is in parts, because the expert tracker can't find bright green blood all over the leaves. And I own it. I found out. I was like, I texted my son, "Do we have this? Do we own Predator?" He was like, "Yeah, we have Predator," and I have the DVD. You don't have to own it, but I'm not suggesting. But you should watch it if you haven't seen it. I would say don't watch any of the following ones. Trash. I know Dago hates it. And I would let it stand on its own. It's a simple action sci-fi horror for fun. All right. That's what I'm going to say. So, all right, fellas, we're going to go to the ratings. Just to remind everyone, worst rating is a bathroom break. You don't even need to be in the room. So below average movie, no snacks. Maybe you just sit there and read a book or a magazine or scroll on your phone while the movie's playing. And that's what I would do, Dago, if I'm watching any of the follow-ons. So
good.
Average movie is like, hey, this is an average movie. Give it a Coke, and better than average movie, Coke and popcorn. And if it's just A+ best movie, a Coke, popcorn, and a box of your favorite movie candy, that'd be Raisinets for me. So Dago, we'll let you go first. You're the super fan. What's your rating, sir?
I mean, obviously, I'm going to go the top rating, right? I'm a huge fan. I will admit it is dated for all the reasons we've said. Coke, popcorn, and a box of Reese's Pieces. But in honor of the movie, I'd say, don't get the Coke and get maybe some water, some H2O, and get some organic corn, and maybe a box of pump some iron. And then that's probably,
All right. So he gives it the best rating. Michael, what do you got?
I'm going to go with a Coke and a handful of popcorn, but I think I'm going to switch up the Coke with some cheer wine. Solid movie. Unlike Gonzo, it does make me want to watch the sequels. The TV show Badlands, isn't that the name of the show that's out?
Yes, that's a movie. That is a good one.
Okay.
Gonzo, that's a good one.
Oh my God. These things. You know what's it reminds me, they keep going with Predator. It reminds me of this thing my sons are into. I don't watch it. What's the thing with the damn zombies? Walking Dead? Like, stop already. Stop Walking Dead. It's how many can you do? There's like 50 spinoffs, and it's all the same stupid thing. Just think of something new, people. Jesus. Okay, so I'm gonna give it, because there's so many dishonorable mentions for me, and but it was entertaining. I'm gonna give it a Coke, and if I'm sitting next to you, I'll have some of your popcorn. So C+. So all right. Dago, sorry that I hurt your feelings, but anyway, it is what it is. So all right. So Looks like that's a wrap. Thanks for listening to Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR. We want to thank Dago for being on the podcast again. We loved having you. Dago,
Yes.
what parting words of wisdom do you have for us that don't say for me to watch more Predator things?
I would say no, nothing deep. Watch movies, have fun, enjoy it. If I am invited back, be prepared for Predator 2.
Oh, yeah.
God. Oh my God.
That's the way I do too. I just find a movie I know Gonzo will hate, and I say, "This is our next movie."
Well, that's what I'll do. Dago will say, "Hey, I wanted to go on for Predator 2." I'm like, "No, we're going to think of something new. We
are
Brandon,
book solid for the rest of the
we
year.
can think of something original." So,
Fair.
All right, man. Thanks for being on. So, everybody, if you enjoyed it, please follow or subscribe. We'd appreciate it. We'd love it if you share the show with a fellow movie lover, someone who loves the 80s. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR podcast. Love to see you there. We're putting out the new releases and a lot of clips and everything on there too, or reels, they call them in Facebook. So if you have a movie you'd like us to watch, or if you're a super fan like Dago and want to be a guest, or if you just have a comment, or if you'd like to tell us what your high school mascot was in the 80s or whenever you grew up. I was the Screaming Eagles. Michael, what was your mascot?
Oh my goodness. We were also the Eagles. So that
Screaming Eagles?
We were just the Eagles, but that meant no matter the game, whether it was, basketball, football, we could always give them the bird.
There you go. All right. All right, Dago, what was your high school mascot?
Warriors.
Warriors, that's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So we ate Eagles for lunch.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I believe that's a federal offense, but let's keep it.
That's right. So all right, if you want to do any of those things, shoot us an email at gonzomikevcr@gmail.com. That's GONZOMIKEVCR@gmail.com. I'm checking that once daily for you. Additionally, feel free to leave comments on your platforms, Spotify, Apple, etc. We'll respond to those as well. We've added some polls on Spotify. It seems like Mike and I are the main two people who answer them. We've had a couple people chime in, but not many. So if you're on Spotify, go scroll down a little bit and you'll see we're asking a question to see what people's what people think about some of our opinions and things. So for our next episode, we have another super fan, Mike. We're going all the way back to 1975 to look at a classic thriller directed by Steven Spielberg, based on the novel by Peter Benchley. Tell them what it is, Michael.
Oh, yeah. This was a movie that used to make me nervous about going to visit my cousins as a little kid because they lived at the beach. And this is a movie you can really sink your teeth into, Gonzo. We're going to be talking about the original Jaws.
All right. Yeah, that movie ruined me I think it ruined me when I was a little kid for even getting in the swimming pool for a while there. I mean, it's crazy. All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Love that movie. We've got a super fan on for that. So,
Yeah.
All right. So, well, folks, that's a wrap. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Mike.
Until next time, keep watching movies. Gonzo, Mike, and VCR is produced by Gonzo, Mike. All rights reserved.
Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR. Press rewind, they're the movie stars.